to start this little clip with a big shout out to George and the rest of the crew at Automotive and Paint Supplies in Palmerston North here. There they are. Through friends of friends, word of mouth, because this is all a bit of a first time caller for me doing this type of work. I didn't know where to go, who to talk to. They said, go and see this guy. And there's guys in there, they'll be helpful, and I just can't say enough good things about them, eh? Like yesterday, George, he come out here, he spent a good hour with me going over what I'm doing, talking about what I'm going to need, what products, and how I'm going to fill the tanks body-wise. And obviously, I said, well, I don't know what I'm doing apart from going and watching other YouTubers and getting some idea. And then he said, no, look, not a problem. I was in there today and left with this box full of body filler and etch primer and papers and reducers and that to get me going, and obviously for the hardware. And then he said, well, I'll be out later on to show you how to use it. I was like, wow. I mean, how many businesses do that? I'm not exactly a big customer, but yeah, no, I really appreciate that type of people, eh? It's really helpful. So I just want to show you what I'm doing here. Yeah, this is really, I don't know, got to be in the right frame of mind to tackle this. Obviously, obtaining windows and that, it's pretty frightening if you had to get these corner pieces. Going on the Facebook page for the 362 cab overs, interesting reading, how people find them and dealerships. So the front window doesn't worry me. I mean, if we have a disaster with that, someone will have the skill set to recut the glass. That doesn't really frighten me too much. But yeah, those corner pieces. So I dug the holes out on these, and yeah, I'm totally amazed. Didn't surprise me at all. No screws, obviously, because there's not much to screw to inside, or they just chose not to do it. They put some real good sealant on there, some real good glue. So at the moment, what I'm doing is very carefully working that up there, putting a knife under it, and you can see I've got a lot of tension on that, and it's fighting me all the way. So I'm just working away at it. But I'll keep moving forward with this window. I'll keep grabbing a few shots and showing you what's happening. Hopefully we'll get these off. I'm sort of thinking might get my mate to come around, and I'll pull those, don't know what you call them, these rubbers here that tension the actual seal up. I'll pull those, and I can see that, I can move that. I might get him to come around and help me pop them out. I was going to get the window people to do it, and yes, they do it all day, every day, but yeah, they might do it successfully. I don't doubt they probably would, but they're in a hurry, 101 things to do in one day. So may attempt this myself. If I can get the seal to come away from the window and I can see I've got plenty of room, and it's not under tension, I may have a go at sliding the glass out. So I'll keep grabbing a few shots as we go here and just let you know what happens. Well, you should be able to see what's happened. I broke the window. I heard it, as you do, and luckily it's the flat glass. I haven't got it off yet. I don't think the window people would even persevere with this. This is just so glued on there. It is just, so many cuts and trying to free it. You can see the tension's what did it, I think. It's pulling on the glass, and possibly, I don't know, but what a mission to try and get those off. So yeah, I can show you on the other end. I can show you the piece. I probably have cut rubber. I don't know, or whether it's just sealant they've put in there, but what a mission. Did not come off. It's terrible. But yeah, that's rather disappointing. Right, we removed one. It's the one I cracked previously. It was no worse when we took it out. I just thought I'd show you what we're doing to slowly remove this. Just using these tools here, just sliding them in under the rubber here, and the window starts to come out. This one's not broken yet, but when we looked closely down the bottom here, there is a line in it, in the glass. Not sure if it's a scratch or not. We'll soon know when we keep going. So I read up, I chucked a bit of WD-40 on there for lubricant. Yeah, you read a bit about it and it says not to use it. It's got the wrong chemicals in it for the rubber. But I see they still use them to install, but apparently silicone's the answer. So yeah, I'm not filming this as I do it, obviously. I mean, I probably should, and you can capture the disaster on film, but yeah, we're just working away at it. It's taking ages. The window's quite stuck in there. A lot of rust pushing on it as well. I think that's why the other one cracked, maybe. It's under quite a bit of pressure, that rubber. The rust is swollen under it. So I'll keep going and I'll let you know what happens. As you know, I'm turning the camera on and I'm just showing you what not to do here. I've worked these along, lots of lube, and just trying to pop that out of there. And there we have it, a window I haven't broken yet. Kyle, come and hold it. Just put it down on the wood and just hold it up so I can get it. Right. It's a bit of a shame I broke the other one. If I hadn't have cracked it, we would have got it out without breaking it, I think. Right, gonna show you what's up here. I got the corner windows out, undamaged. They come out pretty easy, they just slide forward. I wanted to show you up here before I clean it what we're dealing with. Yeah. I suppose it could be worse. All the way along. We'll make something out of it. So my next thing will be is if I can pop this dash so I can see if I can get in behind, and we'll make a decision whether we take the whole frame out, which I think it needs to happen. And just a little update I wanted to throw in there. You would have seen previously in one of my other clips, I was in there trying to get the steering column out. I had all this in the cab. Since then I've removed it. It's covered in sanding dust now. It's been sitting here on the floor and been sanding the cab. And I kept commenting I couldn't get this pin out. Well, once I cleaned it all, I could see why. There's a roll pin just here through the center there. So obviously you got a little notch or groove or something in the pin. And there's a pin turn with it. No, pin turns with it, so it's through the center of the pin. It's quite obvious on this side here. So anyway, I just thought I'll throw that in there in case somebody's ever watching my video and thinking, well, you never did figure it out. I did. Just done a little trial sample here. Something I haven't talked about is sort of come to the conclusion I'm going to remove this window mask right off the truck. We're going to get it off and do what needs doing to it, and then obviously reseal it properly onto the cab. Who knows where the water's getting in. I mean, the roof cap's not the best up here and all that, so yeah, I'm going to take it out. So obviously to get it out, somebody said center punch and drill the rivets. So I've tried that, very sharp drill, small diameter, obviously just to get to the center, and then I stepped up to another drill. It's sharp. They are extremely hard, very hard material. I can drill them, so look, right, next thing I'll try is grinder. So that's how I know how hard they are. They just turn blue instantly when you start grinding them. They're not soft. But the grinder seems to work all right. I mean, I'm not worried if it just touched the mast there. It's all going to get sandblasted and sanded and fixed up. So I'll grind the ones I can get at. And yeah, it's going to take a fair while. I may cut a profile of this in case it moves when it comes out. Or something else my friend and I just talked about is if we get it out, which we will get it out, and it's on the ground and we're going to cut something out, obviously we'll just stay it with a bit of temporary material to stitch it in there to hold the shape while we cut the piece out and work on it. So, but yeah, it's coming along, sort of pretty happy with it. Big job, but it's going to be worth it, I think, at the end of it. Well, I hope it is anyway. So my next thing I'm going to do is, obviously I should have an answer by the time this video goes out. I'm going to go home and try, and if I can do it, message Peterbilt Mike, or Mike the Truck Nut as he's known now, and I know he's done one of these and he works for Peterbilt in Canada there. I might just try and message him and see if he replies. May not, might think it's a scam, which it would be anyway for me. See if he can maybe source me a window seal. I'll start with him. I've obviously gone online, I've got the part number and that, but yeah, it's not that easy from this part of the world to source that. You need somebody over there really to do a bit better. But I'll let you know how I get on with that and keep you in touch. The window seal come out, and yes, it's in one piece. It's yeah, if you're desperate you could use it again, but yeah, I did damage to it when I took the corner pieces off. I ran a knife up there because they really glued them on, and I've cut rubber I shouldn't have. But it's been in and out a couple of times and the corners are gone, and yeah, it's, for what we're doing, it's not worth it. I'll just try and source another one. We'll get there, it'll happen. The other little thing I'll just throw in here, did a little bit of, my friend was here today and he's done a lot of this, so I got him to show me how to mix the filler. Just I mean, I had a fair idea, but just yeah, first time caller, as I say, for a lot of this stuff. So yeah, he threw that on there and I just rubbed it down, and yeah, it's come out really nice. Happy with that. So just we'll start on the fuel tanks and start filling those when we can. It's going to be a big job, just work away at it. Alright, here we are inside, obviously with the dash removed. It just never ends. So I started just carefully looking in here, and all the foam is just, yeah, broken down to nothing. None of that's any good for your health. Start driving around and it all jiggles, just turns to dust. So I'm going to carefully take the, we'll call it vinyl, not sure what it is, take that off. I'll clean it all, and yeah, I'll do a bit of investigating. I'll refoam it or reclad it with some type of cladding and put this back on. So I want to keep that. This has just been cut out, I think, here. But I want to keep that because it's the same colour as the carpet and obviously the sleeper and that. So yeah, got a lot of work to do in there. My next thing I did was the door panel had been a couple of screws taken out, and they just put the hand in here and bent the panel out. They obviously wanted to get in here to open the door because the barrel lock is missing. So yeah, all that had to come apart to be fixed. So while I was in there, I realised yeah, the window was sitting in the track here, and in the bottom I'll show you soon. The unit that holds the glass, yeah, the water's been sitting in it, so it had gone off. So I need to do work on that and get the wiring out of the door. When I go to town to our local rubber foam shop supply, I'll see if I can find new rubber seals for the doors and all that. I just haven't been there yet. Sort that out. Something else I thought about when we go to paint the truck, whether we remove the doors, but yeah, I'll have a good think about that. I do a lot of thinking. I don't always come up with the right answer. So here's the bottom of the window unit. I know it doesn't look much from there, but I'll bring you around and show you. It's quite lifted in there, but I'm trying to get it off the glass. Obviously don't want to break it. Like everything else. Alright, I thought I'd show you some of my icing skills. You can see why the missus doesn't let me do anything in the kitchen. So I tacked it with a filler, put a big thick globby layer on there. Well, it's thick to me, but I know it's not too bad. So I let that harden off, and then I'll attack it with some coarse paper and start to rub it down. Obviously it's going to have a couple of goes. It's the only way I can see to fix the tanks. They're never going to be polishable with all the dings and dents in them. And as I said before, you can't just go to town and buy tanks here. I mean, as we talked about, we could have stainless wrapped them, which, yeah, cool idea, and they would have looked awesome. But the ends still would have looked crap unless you put caps on them of some description. It's all just too much for what I'm doing. The truck's, as I said, it's not a show truck. It's going to be practical, going to use it, so we'll do practical things on it. The other little thing I was just going to show you, when I pressurised the tanks to get the dents out, we had a minute little leak here. So I've just center punched it, and I've just put a little drill in there. Whether where the leak is, I don't know. Going to find out, obviously. So I'm just going to mix up some knead it, and I'm just going to smear in there and over there, and then I actually want to body fill all this. It's underneath, I know you don't see it, but yeah, make it look right. So I don't think it'll leak with diesel in it. I mean, we certainly haven't got 30-40 pound of pressure in the tank. I know diesel finds anywhere to come out, but wasn't leaking previously. It's in a repair, obviously. You can tell the tanks, yeah, they've run over something, pushed it in and cracked it. But amazingly, it never leaked around the weld. It looks like I've welded that. It's, yeah, incredible. But they probably did it on the truck. You'd never know. It's a long time ago. So yeah, I'm just going to fill this, and I'll show you what the outcome is for the whole thing. Try and grab a few shots of me actually doing something. I know I always show you what I've done, not how I do it sometimes. I've gone along, ground all the heads off. I've learnt the hard way over the years, yeah, hold the punch for something. I'm sick of having black fingers. And you do it a few times and you learn. So I've left a couple in, holding it on the corners. I need to think about what I'm going to do it with. Don't want to get too technical, but I want to bend a little template up. So when we pull this, and if it flexes and we've got it on the ground and we're working on it, at least we can sit it on there and say, yep, that's the angle we want on the corner here. I'll try and do the top and the bottom. So I'm not going to, the rivet's still there holding it. I mean, I think you can get them all out, it did never move, it's rusted in. I hate to think where those heads are going. Probably rattle in the cab for the next 10 years. I'll try and find them all. I think they're stuck in behind the installation, the foam's still there. So they're stuck into that. That's alright, I'll take those out later. Thought I'll show you some of the mad things I do. So, as I explained, going to take this mask out, a few more rivets to go. I thought, well, if it goes out of shape, we're going to be in a bit of trouble because the window rubber's not going to show us what we need. So I found some aluminium wire, so I clamped that on there, and my main thing is to get that bend there, and it's sitting up around there. It's not perfect, but it'll be a good indicator for us if we go out of shape. So I thought I'd just show that. Somebody might use the idea, or obviously I'd like to have a piece of aluminium strap would be better. Make it out of wood, I suppose, the jig, but yeah, my woodworking skills be 20 cuts later and it still wouldn't be right. So we'll try this. Doesn't work, it should be an out of shape window.